Hello, Facebook fans and YouTube fans of DX Engineering. It is Thursday afternoon here in the Eastern time zone of the U.S. It's 1830 Zulu on September 19th, 2024. And this is the Manufacturer Showcase. This is where DX Engineering gets to showcase over 170 different manufacturers that we sell items for, including DX Engineering and great places like the ARRL. Today we have Bob NQ1R on. Hello, Bob.
Hello, Tim, and hello, DX Engineering community. It's great to be on here today, Tim.
And you are live from 225 Main Street. Is that right?
I am. You know, this is my 33rd year on staff at ARRL and at ARRL headquarters, and it's still a dream come true to be working on the team here. I love pulling in the parking lot past W1AW each day.
That is just tremendous, and what a great thing. 33 years, Bob. You haven't aged a bit.
Oh, you're very kind, but we know we're all marching in the same direction, Tim.
We are, but what a great place to go by W1AW every day, and you get to go to work and working on some of the great things that the ARRL provides to this hobby, which is the best hobby in the world. But let's get right into it, Bob. Let's get right into some of the things that you want to share here today. And so I'm going to bring up my screen and see if we can share some of the items that you want to talk about here. Let's see. We want to talk about, let's talk about the extra class manual.
Yeah, so a lot of folks know that the license manuals, the question pools themselves get updated on a revision schedule. And so this year, the extra class question pool was revised and implemented for tests beginning on extra class tests on July 1st. And so ARRL has a new suite of materials to help people get their extra class license. And an exciting thing that happened earlier this year is that ARRL became the new publisher of the Gordon West license prep books. And so you'll see right on the screen there, the extra class we've revised with Gordon. Gordon did the lion's share of the work, but we are enjoying working with him to produce the very popular Gordon West license prep books. We're continuing to publish also the ARRL license manuals. So you have a choice. There's also the ARRL extra class license manual. But if it's back to school time of year, and if you're a general class licensee, now's the time to upgrade to extra.
Well, and it just doesn't stop there, right, Bob? You have other classes of license books as well.
That's right. Yeah, we have the entire suite of ARRL license manuals and the entire suite of Gordon West license prep books, technician, general, and extra. So we want to be part of the journey for any newcomer to amateur radio with both of these great paths to get your license. A lot of radio clubs will use the Gordon West license books to teach their amateur radio classes, and a lot of people who self-study will use the ARRL license manuals. They're very complete as well. Gordon West is now the ARRL national instructor, so you'll see him at events throughout the country, and we're happy to be working alongside Gordon to bring the very best of getting your amateur radio license and upgrading to the community. These are fun books. If you've ever poured through a Gordon West license manual, he's got a very clever, fun sense of teaching the material, but they're also aimed at getting somebody active. So they're not about drilling yourself on the question pool. These are about learning the material, learning P equals IE, learning those LC circuits, learning how to put up a dipole antenna. And then because you know all that, you can answer the questions on the test.
So let's talk about some of the other things going on in the ARRL store and also available at DX Engineering. How about this book, Bob?
Oh, yeah. Glenn Popeil, KW5 Golf Papa. Glenn is a prolific writer in amateur radio, and he's a project builder. in the microcontroller space. And if you've ever experimented at all with Raspberry Pi or Arduino, these are great platforms for project building. Gordon takes you through, I think, 17 projects in this new edition of Arduino projects for ham radio. There's projects like a USB CW decoder. He's got a Yaesu cat display, a RIDI reader, a QRP CW transceiver, a Yaesu rotor controller. There's keyers, antenna analyzers, all sorts of projects. Now, if you're new to Arduino, Glenn will take you all the way through what it takes to dive into the microcontroller platform Arduino. It's not difficult at all. He is a consummate experimenter and instructor, and you'll just enjoy his book to bits.
That is just fantastic. How long has this book been out, Bob?
This one came out in June.
Okay, so relatively new on the scene, but yeah, that's fabulous.
Yeah, and this isn't Glenn's first rodeo. He's produced a ton of Arduino-based books. So for the community that's been following his project building books for years, you can expect the latest in the 17 projects that he's assembled in this edition.
Oh, that's great.
So we also have Glenn producing a bunch of titles for other topics, but you can find some of his content as well out there in the community and on the web. Tim, can you hear me okay? I think we lost Tim for a moment there. But in case I'm still live, it's great again to be with the DX engineering community. And I wanted to share some information about some other projects that ARRL has been working on. In January, the ARRL Board of Directors introduced a free student membership for ARRL. If you are a young person who's 21 or younger, you can actually join ARRL now for free. And all you have to do is visit arrl.org/student, and that will lead you to the online application to become a free student member of ARRL. What's that mean? You'll have access to all of the digital magazines that we produce, a ton of content, but also services like the Technical Information Service, the archives of QST and our other periodicals, e-newsletters, a ton of content. So I think Tim's offline for the moment. And again, I'm not sure if I'm live or if I'm not. Hello, John. Great to hear you in there. I guess I am still live, but we've lost John. Excuse me, we've lost Tim for the stream for the moment. John, it's great to hear you in here from sunny Florida. I really appreciate it. John is the president of the Orlando Amateur Radio Club and a great friend of ARRL and DX Engineering. So again, check out the free student membership. We'd love for you. There you are, Tim.
Yeah, Bob. Let's look at that free student membership. I think you've gone through all the highlights, but let's make sure that that everything gets covered, because we have a QR code here. Hopefully you're seeing that.
That's great. Now, you know, I was mentioning that I've been a ham, or at least a member of staff for a long time, but I've been a ham for 40 plus years. And so when I joined ARRL, we always had this discounted membership for about half price of membership. That's not gone away, and that'll make you a full member of ARRL. And really all that means is that full members of ARRL also have voting privileges. But the free student membership is a brand new thing this year, and we would be glad to see a ton of students from elementary, middle, high school, all the way up through the universities to join ARRL and start their lifelong journey in ham radio for free.
Boy, that is just, that's really impressive, Bob. When you think about, you know, for free. I mean, every month when QST comes out, I'm still like a little kid. I mean, and in fact, earlier this week, I was with the DX engineering team, and somebody got their QST before me, and it was like,
no.
no.
Oh no.
But
yeah. And of course, I have fun working with the team here that puts it together every month, and our other magazines like On the Air, the National Contest Journal, QEX. I have fun with all the team that work on those magazines. But there is something to be said about a brand new issue coming out and the opportunity to pour through it and see what's going on in amateur radio.
Well, and the great thing is, Bob, you can get QST digitally really quickly.
Yeah.
And so, I had taken a sneak peek because my good friend Frank Donovan, W3LPL, has a tremendous article about Cycle 25 in October QST. But I don't want to get too far off the rails here.
No, that's excellent. Yeah, and Frank's content's great. Tim, I also wanted to give a shout out to you when we were talking about student membership before. You were instrumental in working with the Harbor Creek, Pennsylvania High School. And so much good has come from amateur radio operators and radio clubs working with their local schools to draw out amateur radio into those communities. Amateur radio is a perfect fit when it comes to STEM outreach. And just thanks for doing your part in your community, Tim.
Well, and the Harbor Creek deal was really good, and Columbiana County has got a really good program down there as well with Colleen Campbell and Katie Campbell.
They're amazing.
NQ1R, and I've got a great educator here, Dr. Josh Reichert, KJR, who is doing STEM camps, and so there are those situations all over the country that are going on. And even all over the world when you look at what's going on with some of the Yoda projects. But also wanted you to talk about Handbook 101.
Yeah, so if you have access to October QST, you'll probably see a teaser ad in the issue, and it's an introduction of the next edition of the ARRL handbook. Now, a lot of people are saying, how can you top what you did with the last edition? The last edition was the 100th edition of the handbook. And so the big deal for this new Handbook 101, the 101st edition, which will come out in October, on October 1st, is that there's a new editor, Greg Lappin. His call sign is November 9GL. Dr. Lappin is well known in the amateur radio community. He's been a contributor to the handbook and many publications over the years. So, but he's the subject matter expert that we pulled in to pull together the entire new edition of handbooks. So I can think of other milestones over the years, Effie Handy's handbook, Ward Silver's contributions to the handbook, and now we get to have a new editor in Greg Lappin, and we're excited. Greg has assembled an amazing team of subject matter experts. This new edition, he tackled entire rewrites of some chapters of the book and a ton of new content. I think there's 350 articles, projects, software, PC board templates, and other support files that go along with the book. In addition to maybe, I'm not sure how many new projects there are in there, but there's a new RF safety compliance section, a whole section on SWR meters and related testing. And if you've ever used the modeling software EasyNEC, there's an entire new section on NEC4.
Wow, that is great, Bob. And thanks to you and the rest of the team at ARRL for finding Greg as the new editor. Those are big shoes to fill when Ward Silver was just tremendous at doing the antenna book and the handbook. And Christmas morning is never the same if you don't have the latest ARRL handbook.
Yeah. And Ward's contribution most recently with so much that he's contributed to the ARRL publishing community, it's been incredible. But we're excited to see Greg take us into this the next 100 editions. We start now with 101. So check out the October issue of QST. We played up the Beatles' White Album as our inspiration for the ad, and the big reveal on what the cover will look like is coming soon.
Well, I hope maybe we could share the cover here on a DX
We'd
Engineering
love to do
social
that.
show on Facebook and YouTube. I do want to just comment on some of the folks in the chat room, Bob, because we're just so happy that every week we have a lot of viewers in here. John Knott, who just tireless working on Hamcation. And John, so good to have you on from sunny Florida. Looking forward to seeing you in February. And Rodney is on from the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Hi, Rod.
Juliet 5, Fox Whiskey Charlie. And Barry on from England, Germany 6, Juliet Mike X-Ray.
Oh, Barry, that was a great Hamfest in the UK. I still remember that.
There we go. And we've got Don on Kilo Echo 8 Delta Oscar. And John also wanted to comment that John Knott down there, N4JTK, wanted to comment about Orlando Amateur Radio Club will be assisting Sally Ride Elementary School with an ISS contact. And that is always a big hit, as you know, Bob. David is on with us, Alpha Charlie 3 Hotel Tango.
Hi, David.
The student program is truly commendable. ARRL is leading the way forward again. And David, thank you so much for your comments.
Yeah, David, thank you.
We've got Reinhard on from Germany, Delta Hotel 3, November Alpha Bravo. Always good to have you on, Reinhard. And I see Steve, November Alpha 5 Charlie, is on as well. So, Bob, thanks so much for bringing us this. We could go on for hours.
Oh, this was fun, Tim. Thank you so much.
Talking about all the great stuff going on at ARRL. And thank you for all you do, your staff, and everybody there at 225 Main Street. We wish you all the best coming into the fall season and the winter season, as Cycle 25 is just exciting.
Oh,
and we look forward to having you on soon again to talk about more exciting things going on at ARRL.
Tim, thank you. And thanks again to the DX Engineering community. We appreciate all your support.
Okay. And thanks to all of you for watching today. We'll see you next time. Until then, 73 from DX Engineering.